It's 1 month before DIPEX 2025 at COEP, and we have registered in that event. Our project's name is iAttendance, an innovative solution for attendance systems. Our project is an attendance system that aims to digitalize the current traditional attendance systems of maintaining written records of students. What our module does is basically hosting a Wi-Fi to which students can connect right before attendance is going to be taken. And then what the project does, this module specifically, is that it will scan all the IP addresses of all connected devices, and then based on the linkage that it's done before the main process of scanning, but based on the linkage between the IP address of a particular mobile and the student details, it marks a student absent or present based on that. I hope you understood. If not, no worries, I'll demonstrate this once. Firstly, I'd like to tell you about the hardware details of this project. Firstly, we are using this LCD 16:2 display, which will suffice for our needs. The display is there for displaying function names and some information like Wi-Fi has been hosted and number of present students versus number of absent students. And then this keypad right here serves the purpose of manually entering roll numbers or enrollment numbers in case somebody's attendance is missed, or if complete manual attendance is to be marked. Firstly, the heart of this project is this 8051 microcontroller, specifically 8089S52. This is an 8051 microcontroller that has 8 kilobytes of flash memory and 256 bytes of RAM. While programming, however, we could only use 228 bytes of RAM, so we also ended up adding an EEPROM right over there. Right over there. And then this is all the wiring that's present. I think the LCD is knocked off. I'll just quickly add it. Right, so the LCD has been again placed in place, and in spite of this video already being a failure, well, probably not, but I'll try my best to explain this. This is the board we are using. No Arduino, no nothing. Purely what we have learned in our diploma. That's what capstone projects are about, right? So there's the board. It controls LCD. It processes key presses, that is the keys we press are processed by this board. Then it performs UART communication with the Wi-Fi module right here in order to exchange information and command the Wi-Fi module. Then it has this EEPROM which I mentioned before. It performs the function of storing permanent data such as function names and key matrices, and as well as we are thinking of adding a functionality where all the attendance records will be stored in this EEPROM only. This EEPROM is a 256 kilobyte memory storage in which, as per our calculation, we can store a record that contains 100 entries. 250 of such records can be stored. So the EEPROM here also does enough for like a half year attendance. Then next comes this battery. We have included a Type-C charging module which charges this 400 milliampere battery. 400 milliampere battery does the job pretty well. I had last charged it like 4 or 5 days ago, and it still works fine. I've only recently added the Wi-Fi module to be powered from this. So it might reduce the amount of days this runs, but apart from that, 400 milliamperes does the job quite fine. Enough of talking, let's now start the project. Press any key to begin. This part right here is actually a text that I put. This hello will be replaced by functions, but there are 4 functions that we have added yet. The first one is one tap scan, which is the main function of this project. Then to see other functions, we can simply press these keys. We've added this functionality of scrolling through the display. And so the second function is register. Now this part here is remnant. We'll fix that easily by clearing the display and then re-displaying all characters. But that's a thing for a later period of time. Register. What this does is basically linking all unknown devices to names and student details, so that when a particular device is detected, its IP address is then linked with somebody's name and that person is marked present. So register does that function. The next comes manual entry. Again, as I said, manual entry does not host any Wi-Fi. We can simply put enrollment numbers here, send it, and then it will prepare an attendance record out of that. And then for the fourth and last but not least function, we have admin access. Admin access is there to again host a Wi-Fi, allow only teachers to access by having like a login page there, and through that page they will be able to upload a student entry database, student record, or also retrieve attendance records for a particular date. Currently, the retrieval of attendance record is still yet to be programmed as of 1st March. But apart from that, the basic functions are all programmed, and that is why I'm making this video. The first function that I'd like to demonstrate is the admin access. Why? Because it's the first step that is required to be done. So firstly, I'll press 4 and confirm, yes please, and it will say admin Wi-Fi up. Now we can stop it using this, and this is again just remnant text which will be removed later. So what I'll quickly do is that, because I don't have a mobile with me, like an extra mobile, I'm recording it with my only mobile, I go to my computer and try to connect it there. So this is the Wi-Fi that's hosted by the module. It seems to be taking time, but it's already connected. I'll now quickly add the Wi-Fi IP address. And this is the page that opens. This is the same page that will open when you launch the web page on a mobile. Firstly, we choose a file. We can choose any file, any CSV Excel file, and we can upload it there. One thing is that Excel files are directly not accepted here. It needs to be in a CSV format due to the limitations of this module right here, being able to perform complex tasks like processing Excel SV files. Only CSVs are processable, and so that is the only limitation as of now. Now if I quickly just obtain document the student record, I first quickly show how this looks like. The student record looks something like this for the moment. Basically, these are the parameters that the student will need to enter during registration process, and now these are the actual data. This is my name here, and the birth date is not visible here. I'll just do this resolution. Now what this does is that it firstly helps in linking a particular IP address with an enrollment number here, and secondly it helps me sort of perform a legitimacy check for a device. Like for example, if this mobile, the one with which I'm recording, is mine only, so to check that, I basically will enter my personal details only. Again, somebody else can also enter my personal details if they know about me, but apart from that, it is going to keep the legitimacy in check for the basic part. Of course, to it will require more developments later. This is the type of database we need to upload, and we just simply upload it. If the file is uploaded, it should say file uploaded successfully. And just to now cross check, I'll go here. Okay, so this isn't connected currently with the USB, so it's not showing, but now the ESP module will also show, like it will show something like that, this uploading student's record, the file name that we've uploaded, and upload complete. Now after this is done, the next part is registering. Firstly, I'll stop this. I'll then register, go to the register mode. This is the register mode. I press 2 for that, confirm, and this will also launch a Wi-Fi network, but this one is a special one because it will launch a CNA Wi-Fi web page. CNA basically stands for Captive Network Authentication. It's a type of network which requires you to sign in before actually accessing the Wi-Fi. How does that work? I'll try to show you. Perhaps it will not work for this computer right here, but let's see. It should say sign into network, and okay, as expected, it will not immediately launch a web page as it would do on a mobile, but what should happen is that a different page should open. Currently it's not happening. I'll just quickly diagnose why and resume the video. So there's a small bug in the software which I fixed, and now here's the page. This page will open as soon as you connect to the Wi-Fi network. Here you're required to upload your enrollment number, first name, last name, birth date, and mobile number, exactly as the format of the database I uploaded. I'll quickly do one thing just to demonstrate. Just open the student record real quick, and then I'll quickly enter this thing right here. RNIH 24 year. Or I'll do one thing, I'll just put a test one. So that's 2001. There will be test, another test, and then for birth date it's set to this as per database, and then as soon as I click on submit, it should say authentication successful. Now what this will do is it will store the IP address of this device, the laptop, in this Wi-Fi module. And so this IP address and the enrollment number I just put in will be put together in a separate file of authenticated devices. And with that done, the module is ready for use, and daily attendance marking can be done. These two starting processes will not be required until a new student comes or a new student is to be removed. So to use the module normally, we'll just go to the first function, one tap scan. Technical difficulties, I'll quickly fix it. And yes, this part right here again is just the remnant text. Okay, this isn't pressing for some reason. Alright. Just need to push it a bit harder. And then with that it should be happening. Just some wiring problems, nothing much. I've got to push it harder. Still not happening. Okay, 2 works fine, 1 isn't working. Anyways, I've just pressed it in the background with more force and it will say confirm. Again, the M question mark was a remnant part of this only. But yes, if I press yes, this button right here, it will start a network. And then in this list, attendance should appear. And yes, it did appear in the perfect time. I connect to it and let's show what magic occurs. Yeah, it's done. One tap mark. Now after this, before I press this, I'd like to explain what happens here. So firstly, what it does is that the module, specifically this, will firstly scan all the connected devices client IPs, and you know the registration part which I just taught you. That registration part will create a file in which multiple IP addresses, authenticated IP addresses, will be stored. Now what the module will do is it will first choose one connected IP and then check if that IP is found in that authenticated devices list. If it's found, then it will mark that particular IP's enrollment number as present. Otherwise, all other IPs, like all other devices, enrollment numbers will be marked absent. I'll just quickly demonstrate it to you. As I showed you in the database, there are 3 records, and currently I've only authenticated one device, that's this laptop right here. This laptop, but it's connected to the display, so HDMI. But it should now show 1 present, 2 absent. Let's see what happens now. And as I said, it's showing 1 present and 2 absent. The present is calculated by, again, just as I said, like incrementing a variable when a connected device's IP is found in authenticated list. And absent students are marked by firstly getting the total list of records in the student record and then subtracting that total records by the number of present students. That's how you get absence, the number of absent students. That is the working of this module so far. In future, today only, we will start working on storing records. Like for example, I just took this scan right here. This will be firstly from this Wi-Fi module be serially sent to this board right here, like through the green and black wires, and then to this IC, and this IC will then write it to EPROM at a particular address. So it will be stored address wise. If we want to retrieve a particular record, we can just mention the address at which we need to retrieve, and then that will be sent by the main board through UART to this, and then this will create it into a file, and that file will be then perhaps sent to the web page which is opened by a mobile or an admin. The project is right off the bat really confusing at first. However, when properly understood, it's a great project as per us. And please ignore these drilling sounds. I don't know who is doing it.